All right. Think that should be working all right. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Did a test run yesterday, just on unlisted to make sure this worked and everything was fine. So hopefully that's the case here. But, yes, welcome. The first official proper live stream. Pre-season testing here at Daytona. We're going to see all 42 cars on the racetrack. Good to see some of you in the chat. Chris, I don't think you did. I need to check the what your Discord username is, but probably I don't think you did, unfortunately. So going to start in about a minute. Going to see all the cars on the racetrack. And pretty much just get to know everybody, get to see all the paint schemes that we're going to see throughout the year. It's not a massively important session, but you know, still good. Let's see. Hopefully that's working. Okay, that's cool. There we go. That's more like it. Alright, that should be working. Should be able to see the game on the screen. It's 8 PM, so let's get it rolling. Dylan, you did not, because of what happened in the server. So yeah, sorry about that. So we had to replace your guys, but we'll explain throughout the session. Bring it up. All right. So, love NASCAR. Yes, thank you, Tyson. All right. So, this session is 30 minutes long. It's a lot of it's going to be me just kind of introducing everybody. And making sure that everyone's up to date in terms of drivers, team combinations, manufacturers, all that kind of stuff, all that kind of good stuff. And so I don't know how long that's going to take. Hopefully within the 30 minutes. Hope that's all right. And I just realised that my headphones are actually in the wrong computer. Off to a good start. Off to a very good start. There we go. Now it's working. Anyways, first car on track here, the number 13 of Stephen Cologne, the Logitech Honda, driving for Amaris Nichols Racing. Amaris Nichols Racing, the owner Isaac Nichols, of course. If you were a viewer of the old Cup Series, you'll know that this team was incredibly successful back in the day. They are the winningest team that's in this series from the old Cup Series. We do not have DW Motorsports, unfortunately, but made the switch to Honda, 3-car team. Stephen Cologne, I don't think's ever raced on the channel previously, so we'll see how he holds up this season. Yeah, the number 13. Thank you, Nathan. We do have other cars on track. Number 32 here, Caleb Rose, driving the Tide Kroger Toyota for Pacific Racing, and Brennan Wilmington. And, well, these guys are probably going to be pretty quick throughout the season. These guys haven't raced on the channel before in any of the previous series, but they've certainly been around the NR scene for a while now, so keep an eye on the 32 and his teammates. Brandon Beal here in the number 37 for Ryan Durrani Incorporated. One of its 2-car operation, and Ryan Durrani, the team owner. We're going to see a lot of guys that are new to the channel, new to racing on the channel, haven't raced in previous Cup Series. Brandon Beal and Ryan Durrani, same thing, same case for them. But they've been fast in the unofficial pre-season testing sessions. In the 37, we'll see the 41 later on. They've been fast in general. Here is the number 71, Henry Gore, driving for Gifford Technologies Incorporated. Of course, Gifford Technologies Incorporated were one of the most successful teams in the previous Cup Series, and Henry Gore won a couple of races in his career from seasons 2 through to 5. And back with Gifford Technologies Incorporated after driving for them in season 5. It'll be interesting to see how they go. They're moving from Chevrolet to Toyota. Sorry, from Toyota to Chevrolet, rather. Good on me. Which was a bit of a surprise, I'll be honest with you, but see how they go. Number 71. Keep an eye on them throughout the year. Echo Evans Ross. So this is the second of the Pacific Racing entries. We talked about Caleb Rose before. Evans Ross, also new to the channel. And we'll see what she can do in that 62. That car probably going to be pretty fast throughout the year, as I said, with the Pacific Racing boys and girls. They'll be pretty good, I would think, this year. Max Davis in the number 6 for Seminole Motors. Seminole Motors, of course, won a couple of races in the old Cup Series as South Florida Motorsports, SoFlo Racing. Richard Fridge, the team owner. And I think this would be their home race at Daytona. And Davis new to the channel, but I haven't seen too much of him in the unofficial preseason testing. But we'll see what he can do in that number 6 Toyota. The number 15 Vision Motorsports Chevrolet here. This is Sebastian Palmer. And Palmer, new to the channel alongside... let me see here. Sorry, I've got to bring this up real quick. Matthew Herbert. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. One car operation for Vision Motorsports. I like that. I like the one car operation. I think it's kind of cool. And we'll see how they go. Again, haven't seen too much of him in the unofficial pre-season testing stuff. The number 53 here for Hololive Racing Project. I'm just hope that I'm pronouncing everything correctly. Number 53 here, Noon Agbar, the driver of this one. Yeah. I don't really know what to say with this one. Rebirth, what is it? It's got to make sure I get this all correct. Rebirth for You is the sponsor on the chart. I'd assume that the logos they're all kind of some kind of like an in joke that I don't get. Probably. But yeah, 53, Noon Agbar, Aris Yuko, the team owner. And we'll see how they go. I haven't seen too much of them in pre-season testing, but wait and see in this regard. Now, this is a car that I've seen a lot of in pre-season testing, or the team anyway. Crisis Racing Team. This is the 31 of Garrett Lamar. And this team is very fast in the unofficial preseason testing stuff. They're going to be up there. I would think they're not up there in the top 10 at the moment, but Garrett Lamar's been pretty fast. The whole team's been pretty fast. They'll do some good things this year, I believe. Number 31 CRT. Number 92 Hulu Toyota Braden Perez. Oh dear, and there we go. Noon Agbar blows up. That's a good start. That's a good start. Oh, of course. Yeah, that doesn't affect anything, of course. It doesn't really matter. He'll get back on track anyway. So Perez here in the 92. This is the third of the Pacific Racing Toyotas. We've already seen Rose and Evans Ross. And now we see the 92 of Perez. Again, they'll be probably pretty quick. Nicholas Samadio in the number 97 for NS Racing. This car's probably going to be pretty quick. The NS Racing boys are probably going to be pretty quick. Samadio's never made a start on the channel, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll probably see them up there, I would think, for a lot of the races this year. Got a good driver lineup. Of course, all the ratings are equal, so they may not. You never know. But so far, I probably think they're going to be up there. Nikolaus Schlauter. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Driving the number 20. So we saw Max Davis before. This is the second Seminole Motors entry. And there are other ones actually on top of the board right now with Logan Thomas. We'll get to him when we get the chance. But Schlauter here in the 20. Driving for Oyster City on the side of this one. And it's been alright in pre-season testing. So We'll see how he goes. This is the second of the Ryan Durrani Incorporated cars. Travis Crampton in the number 41. This car, actually, I'm going to be honest with you, this car annoyed me because here in Australia, we don't have TJ Maxx, we have TK Maxx, which apparently is the same thing, but for some reason they've changed the name of it for whatever reason. But yes, Ryan Durrani Incorporated, these cars are fast. Will probably, yeah, in a lot of the preseason testing they'll be fast, so I have to see how they go. Number 56 here on the inside, Kyle McLeese for Monkey Racing, driving the Jordan Honda. I think this is the first of 3 cars that I haven't seen the others yet, so we'll see them throughout the session. But McLeese has obviously done a bit of racing in other circles, but not here on the channel. Obviously, a lot of these guys have not raced on the channel previously, so everyone's kind of on a similar kind of playing field. Ethan Lewis is another one here in the 00 that hasn't raced on the channel. He's driving for Danger Zone Autosport and Derek Hamill, who has actually raced on the channel, but not as a team owner. So this will be a new experience for him, driving the Schluter Systems 00. I haven't seen too much of him in preseason testing, so hard to say for sure that I haven't seen too much of him pretty much. Best through the middle here is Roberto Crown Jr. So we saw the 53 before. This is their second car, HoloLive Racing Project. Live 2D on the side of this one. And Roberto Crown Jr. has obviously done a fair bit of racing throughout his time in NR in recent times. So keep an eye on the 52 throughout the year. Joseph Wright here in the second of the NS Racing Fords. And of course, the 2 Advanced Auto Parts cars are right behind each other, of course, just like God intended. So, Joseph Wright in the 99. This car's probably actually been the fastest of the 3 NS Racing cars in pre-season testing. So, keep an eye on him. He'll probably do some good things throughout the year, I'd be willing to say, just based on what we've seen already. John Stewart here in the 22 for Collins Racing. So I mentioned Derek Hamill before as a guy who raced on the channel but had never been a team owner until now, and the same can be said for Mitchell Collins, the team owner of Collins Racing, obviously. And Stewart's never raced on the channel, but 22's shown. I haven't seen too much of it, but when it has been out there, it has been pretty fast. There's Brendan Perez pits. Let's see, we'll move on forward, I suppose. A couple of cars up here that we haven't talked about yet. Will Parrish here in the 02. So, Parrish, we just talked about the 22. This is their second car. And the AAA Ford. And, yeah, this car's been pretty quick too in the limited pre-season testing. So, got to keep an eye on Parrish, Collins Racing. I think they have the most. I think Ford have the most number of cars you'll see in this session. I'm pretty sure of that. I could be wrong. I'd have to check again. Here's number 69, Paul Antoine Sierre. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Driving for Monkey Racing here in the 69. So this is their second car. You see the 56 back there. And Antoine Sierre has obviously done a bit of racing as well in these circles. So not on this channel, but in other series. Here's a driver who has been on the channel before, a race winner in fact. Kelly Lee returns to competition here, driving for Amaris Nichols Racing. So this is the second of those cars we've seen. Amaris on the hood of this car. And Lee, the winner at Richmond in Season 2, and finished a couple good runs in the Daytona 500. She's looked fast throughout pre-season as well, so keep an eye on the 26. Ran a lot of races throughout her time in the previous series. And here is the other Amaris Nichols car, Jake Rogers, the winningest driver of anybody that's racing in this series from the old series, by a fair margin as well. 10 wins for Rogers across his Audi Cup Series career, AKG Cup Series career. And if you told me if he joined Isaac Nichols' team a couple of years ago, I would have called you crazy. But here he is driving the number 9 Honda. Here's number 12, Eli Bright's pitting right as I go to him. But Bright, in the third Collins Racing car, he won the Daytona 500 in Season 5 of the Cup Series. And looking to repeat that kind of success this season. Jerry Chen here in the 36, so this will be the second of the Gifford Technology Incorporated cars that we've seen in this session. And Chen new to the channel, but driving for a good team, obviously. As I mentioned before, Gifford Technologies Incorporated was very fast in the old Cup Series, so we'll see how he's got his teammate coming off the pit road, Henry Gore. We've already talked about him, but we'll see how the 36 does this year. Oh, this is a big pack, so lots of guys to talk about here. Let's start at the back. Samuel Francis in the second of the CRT Chevrolets. And I mentioned before, CRT has been very fast, and this guy has been the fastest, typically. This 21 has been excellent as Ethan Lewis comes back up on the racetrack, and they all have to check up. But Francis has been very fast in the 21, so keep an eye out on him. He's pitting now, but he's going to be pretty quick throughout the year. Owen Miles, this car is very flashy. The number 2 for Buck Racing. So we haven't talked about Buck Racing yet. This is one of 2 BMW teams in the field. Buck Racing raced in Season 5 of the Cup Series with 2 cars, and they're running with 2 cars here. And Miles in the number 2 has also limited running again, but has been pretty fast when he has been out there. Logan Thomas, who was at the top, right now running in 10th in the 3rd of the Seminole Motors car. So Florida State University on this one. And whoa, hey, careful, fellas. No need to crash in pre-season testing. But Logan Thomas, as I was trying to say, very fast at times. Obviously fast early on in this session. Dominic Anthony, number 39, Sunny D Chevrolet. For Gifford Technologies Incorporated, so much like Henry Gore, team driver combination that we saw in the last season of Cup. And same number as well, 39. And Anthony, the first ever pole sitter of the old Cup Series. And actually that same race, so that was the Daytona 500, and then in that same race, his team owner, Tyson Gifford, went on to win. So that is quite fitting, and they'll be hoping to do the same as a team driver combination when the Daytona 500 kicks off later this week. Alejandro Cruz in the 3rd Monkey Racing Honda, the body armor Accord, and he's shown some flashes as well. So not recently though. A couple of times where he has been a bit up and down, but he has shown to be pretty quick at times. So Cruz. So a lot of these guys obviously haven't raced on the channel previously, so I'm not really going to bring it up every time. But James Stack's another one of these guys, and James Stack, he and Francis in the 21, those 2 cars are really quick. I know I've talked about CRT before, but all 4 of them are. This car might be my favourite of the bunch, and I didn't even paint it. I really like this one. And the car's fast. Got to keep an eye on him for Daytona, for sure. For sure. Noah Clifton. So here we go, Team Velocista. We finally get to it. Took us a while. But Clifton in the 25, a former race winner in the old Cup Series back in Season 5. He won at Charlotte. And he's coming down at pit road, of course, right on cue. But very, very fast driver here. Team Velocista, of course, raced in the Cup Series in the last season. Matt Tuck, the team owner, who's in the chat right now. He was going crazy. Yeah, so we'll see how they go. I think a 4-car team, they punched above their weight in the last season of Cup, so looking forward to see how they go. Logan Williams here, so the 4th of the Gifford Technology Incorporated cars, the final one. Williams drove in the last season as well, the Cup Series. Got a couple of top 10s. It makes a big upgrade, I think, to be honest with you, to Gifford Technologies Incorporated. Got to hurry this up because I'm concerned we're not going to get to everybody within the 30 minutes. Fisher G here in the 28 for Buck Racing. So we saw the flashy number 2 before. This is their sister car. Also driving a BMW. And Gio, of course, new to the channel as well. Not really too much more to say. We'll see how... I haven't seen too much of the 28 in these sessions, so see how they go. Number 24, Zachary Fitzwater, driving the 2nd of the Team Velocista BMWs. I really like this one. And I really like what the 24 has done in a lot of the pre-season testing sessions, and the Velocista cars have been pretty quick overall. So We might see him up there for Daytona. We see his teammate up in this pack as well. I don't know if he'll be the next car or not. Fitzwood, of course, did race in the Cup Series as well back in Season 2. He won at Charlotte and then became a team owner for the rest of the season. Well, the rest of the series, really. Number 29 here, Brad Stover. So this is the team car as well. Motor on the side of this one. Obviously, it's pretty much the same design, just reshuffle the colours pretty much. And Stover, also very quick. So these have probably been the two fastest of the Velocity cars that we've seen so far. So looking forward to see how they go in qualifying tomorrow and throughout the season. Then we've got two Danger Zone Autosport cars here before we move on to the next group. Chase Harris, who made a start, I don't remember where, in Season 5 of the Cup Series, who replaced Nathan Ormond for a race. And the Regal Cinemas number 47. Again, haven't seen too much of the Danger Zone Autosport cars, so a bit of a mystery heading in. Gerald Oren, same can be said in terms of the team stuff for him, obviously. But he is a two-time race winner in the Old Cup Series, Darlington Season 2, and then at Dover in Season 4, which was a massive upset. And totally unexpected. You wouldn't see that happen these days, to be honest with you. But didn't have a great run in the last season of Cup full-time, but hoping to turn around this year with Danger Zone Autosport. We're seeing Clifton, we're seeing Rogers. 33 here, so this is Ricardo Garcia. So this is the fourth of the CRT cars. Again, very fast. No need to mention it again. But we'll see how they go. I'm really looking forward to it. Garcia has been there or thereabouts in a lot of the sessions, so keep an eye on him. Benny Watson here in the 98 NS Racing. This is their third car, and of course Benny Watson had quite the run in Season 5 for NS Racing. These two, Nathan Stapleton, the team owner, Benny Watson, the driver, have been working together on the channel since Season 2. That's a long time, and almost paid off last year in that incredible season finale at Homestead. Nearly won the championship. It was quite the run, unexpected run as well. So looking forward to seeing how they go in that 98 car this year. Samet Ozkin in the fourth and final Danger Zone Autosport Honda. And this is a car from the limited testing. As I said, we've got limited testing on these cars. The Danger Zone Autosport cars. This has actually been the fastest of the four. So, bit Nile on this one. And of course, there's a bit of off-season drama in the build-up to the season. I did mention it with Stover, but he and Samet Ozkin had to swap rides. Well, not swap rides, but they had team situations, a bit of drama going on. Ended up in the 29 and the 74 respectively. So, but yeah, 74. Samet Ozkin, I think he's raced on the channel before, but I think it would have been a subscriber special. So he hasn't raced in Cup, so I can guarantee you that. But we'll see how he goes. Let's see here. Who else can we get to? Who else have we not gone to? It's a question. If there's anyone. Oh, Chase Harris has blown up. Skill issue, I'm afraid. Let's see. Who have we not gone to? Thomas Troxel. Here we go. 27. In the final Team Velocity BMW. Vitamin water on this one. And yeah, Troxel, of course, raced in a lot of NR leagues. Very, very successful and experienced. Never raced on the channel, but this driver team combo, not at all a surprise. We'll see how the 27 handles this series. I haven't seen too much of him in speed in terms of preseason testing, unofficial preseason testing. So who else have we not seen is the question. I think we've 54, James Jefferson. So this is the third of the HoloLive Racing Project cars, as Nicholas Slaughter has a problem. James Jefferson, 54. Now, this car has been the fastest of the HoloLive Racing production cars in the limited testing we've seen. These guys got to be careful. I feel like they've crashed like a bajillion, or close to crashing a bajillion times. Got to be careful. But Jefferson 54 has been typically the fastest of them. But again, haven't seen too much of them. So, of course, all equal ratings. So, he may be really good, he may be really bad. It's the case for everyone. Just don't really know. Harris back out there after the engine failure. That is 2, yeah. So that's not exactly ideal. I mean, it's not the worst. I mean, look, you can get back out there. It's NR2003. You can get back out there in practice session, but yeah, not exactly ideal. Let's see. Have we actually? I think we've gone through everybody now. I'm pretty sure. I think. Pretty sure. Emphasis on pretty sure. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. Let's see. Nope, we got through everybody. All right, so finally, we can actually talk about the session proper. Travis Crampton's on top here for Ryan Durrani Incorporated. As I said before, these cars are fast. Right now, they are first and fourth. So Bradley Beal also doing a very nice job. Caleb Rose is in second in the Pacific Racing 32. The 28, Fisher G, is third. Stephen Cologne is fifth. He rounds out the top 5. There is Cologne. He was the first car, of course, to come out. Running up in the top 5. Who else? So we got the 56 up here as well. Kyle McLeese. He's in 6th. John Stewart up here as well. The 22. He's 7th. Doing a good job. Garrett Lamar is in 8th. And of course, the Advanced Auto Parts cars, they're going to be together all year. I swear. They're 8th and 9th on the timesheets. Joseph Wright 9th, and Will Parrish in the 02 rounds out the top 10. So this is probably the pack we're going to stick with here throughout the rest of these 5 minutes. It doesn't mean anything, of course. It's not the best indication in the world of who's going to be the fast guy. Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that. Just want to make sure you don't miss anybody. I might end up letting you know about it. 32 here, Rose. He's second. He's doing a very good job for Pacific Racing. I'm not sure if these guys are going to bend at their times. Right now, by the way, a 39.835. That's faster than I kind of thought it was going to be, to be honest with you. That's pretty quick. Under 40 seconds. So, yeah, those cars are going to be fast. The Ryan Durrani cars, of course. Brandon Beal's up here in this pack as well, the 37. There he is. Just working our way through the field at the moment. We'll get back to the 41, who's, of course, on top of the board. At the moment, wherever he is, there he is. Working his way up the pack. To be fair, fake sponsors. We have fake sponsors in this series, so like, you know, the fact we got a Ponzi car doesn't really matter too much. It doesn't. I don't think it matters at all. Colours are nice. Oh, I will agree with that. In the 74. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this session. Of course, only a 30-minute session. Qualifying is tomorrow. 6 p.m. It was originally going to be an 8 p.m. start, but we've had to move it forward a couple of hours. That will be live in the Yacht Club Discord exclusive. That will not be broadcast here on YouTube. If you're not a part of the server, you don't have to be. Doesn't really matter. There's a reason why it's going on Discord exclusive. It's because, to be honest with you, it saves me a lot of effort, a lot of time. I don't really need to be worrying about editing for like 1,000 hours. So qualifying tomorrow, single car, and we will have the qualifying list up later on. Dominic Anthony in the 39, if we find him. There he is. Oh, coming on to pit road. Of course, they all come on to pit road right as they're going to. That's remarkable. Yes, Dominic Anthony, 39. He'll be the first car out tomorrow. So he'll be setting the benchmark time for Gifford Technologies Incorporated and go through all 42 single car session. All the weather conditions, of course, will be the same. We'll see how these guys go in terms of single car speed. Not like it's going to matter too much for Daytona, but, you know. And we're not going to do qualifying every week. In fact, it's just going to be for Daytona. Just because, you know, obviously, main race. Main race for the year. So, see more cars coming down pit road. I don't think we're going to be seeing any times betted. I'd be surprised at this stage if that were to happen. It looks like it's pretty good for Travis Crampton here in the 41. Off to a good start for Ryan Durrani Incorporated. Of course, I have talked about the all the Old Cup Series stuff. That still exists, but it doesn't count into this series. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, if we find the 9 of Jake Rogers, he had 10 Cup wins in the old Audi AKG Cup, but he has 0 wins in this series. So those 10 wins do not count towards this series. But I just wanted to make that a point because, kind of get an understanding of how good of a driver he actually was. Less than a minute to go. Some of these guys are getting last minute runs here. Getting ready for tomorrow. Because it's a bit hard to do when you've got 42 cars on the raceway, on the racetrack. I think the 41 pitted, so Travis Crampton, his session's probably done. Stick here with the 32 of Caleb Rose, second at the moment. Toyota and BMW, by the way, have the least amount of cars run. 6 Toyotas and 6 BMWs. I'm not sure. I think Ford has the edge. I think. Although I could be wrong. Yeah. 11 Fords compared to 10 Hondas. And then Chevrolet have 9 entries for this series. So we're into the dying stages of this session. The pack catches up to Caleb Rose. We're going to swamp him here in a moment, as is the case with Daytona. Oh, and by the way, we're going to be disqualifying people from Daytona if they have a slow car. Because I do not want slow cars ruining Daytona. So that's going to happen. I'm not sure if it'll affect other racetracks. It'll definitely affect Talladega as well, of course. But I don't know if it'll affect any other racetracks. Other than that, another 30 seconds. Oh, there's Jared Armpits. And we'll also have overtime. We had overtime in Season 3 of the Cup Series, the old Cup Series, and that was, of course, with changing the INI to 2 laps and basically resetting everything. That was completely not flawed at all. Not flawed in the slightest, but we'll have the better cautions on for make sure we get overtime. That's it. Preseason test is officially done. Travis Crampton is the fast man with a 39.835. Good start for Ryan Durrani Incorporated. 1 and 4 in this session. Caleb Rose in second. Fisher G third. Stephen Cologne, Kyle McLeese, John Stewart, Garrett Lamar, Joseph Wright, and Will Parrish. The top 10, and you take a look at the whole field. And, of course, doesn't mean a whole lot for these races. For these sessions. Doesn't mean a lot for the races. And, yeah, we'll see how this all holds up. That will do it for today's pre-season test. Thank you to everyone who came in and said hello. And sorry I didn't read most of the messages. It was a bit hard trying to talk about everybody and talk to the chat. So yeah, it was good fun. I enjoyed that. I would do the Daytona 500, but with disqualifying slow cars and all that, it's going to be pretty difficult. So that won't happen. But we will have qualifying tomorrow in the Discord server. That'll be in one of the voice chats. Make sure you drop by at 6 Eastern. And then, of course, Friday night, we will have the first race of the season at Daytona. Of course, we have a couple of other Daytona races as well in the Discord server. So make sure you go check them out with Turb Car and Bread Car. Daytona 500s. That I'm looking forward to. Anyways, that does it for me. Thank you so much for coming out. It's been great fun, and well, we will see you tomorrow for qualifying, or if not, we'll see you for the first race of the season.